What's up, everyone? I'm back with another episode. As you saw in the previous episode, I showed you the box of the PrimeWeld Cut60. It was in the box way too long. I had to break it open. But first, I had to go on a vacation with family, and I had a bunch of distractions, and finally, I get to open my toy. So what it comes with is a really nice quality machine. I might say that they packaged this extremely well. I mean, they even had these little cross clamp base for the bottom, so these little plastic feet don't get messed up. I don't know if they're entirely plastic. They're probably just covering a metal frame, but it is very high quality. The frame will probably last a lifetime with the tool. We have a nice thick gauge power cord. This is your standard NEMA welding plug that they include now, and then they have the 110 adapter in case you want to do that. Usually you would do that on the go. If you wanted to go to a friend's house and he doesn't have the 220, you would have the 110. Comes with a nice 8-foot long clamp, grounding clamp. It does have a copper shield here, but of course, you know, this is standard. If you want to get something nicer, you're probably going to want to spend the money and get something nicer, but I think for now this will help me out. Yeah, they give you a mask, and then they give you a little hammer to knock that molten metal when you're cutting. There's an adapter for CNC, and you can wire that up when you get your CNC table, which for me it might be a while because they're pretty pricey. The other thing that they give you a little bit of consumables. They also give you a little tool to put those consumables on. They're obviously going to be giving you a manual with all the information. What I appreciated was they gave you an in-depth look at all of the pieces inside the machine. Very detailed. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's very important. The torch. The torch is a 20-foot long PT60 torch. And I mean, this is my first time owning a plasma cutter, so I'm not going to pretend to know everything about it. But from what I've read and seen, the torch is nice. It's one of the better ones. It's got a nice rubber shielding around the wires, and feels good in the hand. There's a little yellow lock here. Before you can press the trigger, you can do that. It's good if you have little ones running around. One of the things I liked about the torch is because it has this particular guide. There's other guides that just, I don't know, I don't feel too confident about them, but I like this one because it seems like you can rest it up against a straight edge a little better on this particular one. And then you've got the other end here. Where these go is in the front, obviously, and I've already spared you guys the trouble of looking at the compressor adapter to work with the air filter system that I showed you in the previous episode. So that's already installed in the back there. This is not really an in-depth setting up and review. It is a review, but it's more of a demonstration of the capabilities of the tool, which is what I'm excited about because I have a lot of thick metal tubes and just things like that I need to get cut and size up because I want to make a plasma cutting table. I found a RV ramp on the side of the road. I guess it fell off the truck and nobody saw it, or they just didn't want it and they left it there. So I grabbed that, and what I plan on doing is putting legs on that and having that be my plasma cutting table temporarily. As you can see behind me, you see my bench grinder, and it's here on some plastic sawhorses, but it's all temporary, obviously. I needed this to finish the project. Moving forward with the project, what I plan on doing is setting this up and getting ready, getting some metal out, different thicknesses. This is an excellent tool because it can cut anywhere from stainless steel down to copper, multiple metals, so it's going to be very handy in the shop. I've already purchased more consumables because I anticipate using this quite a lot just to learn how the tool works. Well, thank you for staying with me so far. Let's get to cutting metal.
First, I just started with the ground cable. It's fairly straightforward. Next is the torch. It only goes in one way, so be easy. I'm going to go ahead and start with 110 just to see how the machine runs on my 15 amp breaker. Here you can see all the different types of metal that it cuts and all the recommended settings. I like how this torch has a pivot base, and I like the safety clips. Speaking of safety, it helps to have a welding shirt that's fire retardant, a mask, a chipping hammer, some clamps, and some safety gloves. Not to mention the area around your table should be clear of any debris that might catch on fire. I started with some 18 gauge at 25 amps, 55 PSI. Everything was cutting like butter. And it helps to have a straight guide. This is a 10 gauge steel bar, 28 amps, 55 PSI. We flipped the breaker on that one. This is 1/4 steel bar, 28 amps, 60 PSI. We're still on 110. The machine struggled on this thickness with 110 volts. That looks like a pretty clean cut to me. Now I'm trying 220 out, going to 45 amps. Zero interruptions, it cut like butter. From here on out, we're at 60 amps. PSI is 75. Cut just fine. What happens is the slag underneath causes it to stick. That's a pretty clean cut as well. This particular plate was stainless steel. I didn't want to go all the way across. I just wanted to make a little step design, and it turned out good. For 3/4 inch, that's pretty cool. It's sharp edges as well. This is a 1-inch stainless steel bar. I tried it again because I didn't like the results, but this is probably the nature of 1 inch on this machine. Pretty much the same results. So here we have the 18 gauge. Pretty sharp, fast cutting there. And this was that straight cut that you saw using the guide. And then we have the angle iron 14 gauge. For some reason that turned out to be a messy cut. I'm not sure what kind of steel this is, but it cut kind of sloppy. And then we have a same type of gauge, which is 14, with that same kind of cut. Of course, I was freehanding it. And then we have the 1/8 cut. All of these cuts are pretty sharp, apart from the slag, but just need to clean up the slag. I left the slag there so that you guys could see what happened during the cut. This is the 1/4 inch cut. As you can see, pretty much straight when I cut it, and then you could see how the cut was there. Moving on to the 1/2 inch. Again, freehand, wasn't too straight, but fairly nice cut for that 1/2. And then we have the 3/4 inch. Look at this, look at the detail here. Look at the steps that I did. It went on, down, and went in, and then it went out there. fairly straight. And then you've got some residual slag there. Not so much though. It's pretty good, pretty decent. And then of course you have the 1-inch cut. For some reason, the cut seems kind of burnt. Not sure if I had the wrong settings, but there is no settings, to be honest, for a 1-inch cut. It's only rated for 3/4 inch cutting. I will say that this right here, the 1-inch, is stainless steel, hardened stainless steel. So for it to cut that was pretty good. Also, this 3/4 inch was hardened stainless steel. Both of these metals are stainless right here. So overall, I am extremely impressed, and I'm loving this tool. It just empowers you. You know, it is much safer than a acetylene torch. Realistically, I probably will be cutting in this range here, the 1/4 and the 1/2 inch, if that. But yeah, I'm very pleased with the machine.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the unboxing, setup, and demonstration of the PrimeWeld Cut60 Plasma Cutter. I can't tell you how excited I am that I have this in my shop, and I'll be using it for a long time. I like the fact that they include everything you need to get it set up the same day. I love the fact that they have a 3-year warranty. It gives you peace of mind. I tried to make this as helpful as I could, let you know in the previous episode what kind of air filter you need to save on your consumables. And as far as the compressor, the 5.1 SCFM being the minimum flow, and then I would recommend 29-30 gallons of air to get the job done correctly. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to tell a friend, especially if they're on the fence of whether or not they want to buy this machine. I say go for it and don't look back. Have a great day.